Greetings team, welcome to Casa Suarez. I am in my kitchen today to prepare an awesome recipe that my wonderful colleague Flor has shared. I'm going to be making barbecue jackfruit burgers. It was meant to be sliders, but I prefer the potato bun, which is a little bit bigger. So I'm really excited. We're going to be starting with actually a homemade barbecue sauce that my family really enjoys. And this dish is 100% vegan. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the barbecue sauce, and my favorite recipe actually comes from this cookbook called Cook Yourself Thin Faster. They have a lot of really healthy and delicious recipes. So it calls for a 1/4 cup of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce, in which I actually replace with liquid Bragg's, 1 tablespoon of mustard, a 1/4 teaspoon of ancho chili powder, which I'm just using regular chili powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, and a garlic clove peeled and smashed. And I actually like to use minced garlic, so I'm going to be using that. And I'm going to triple this recipe because my jackfruit recipe calls for a 3/4 cup, and this will only produce a 1/4 cup. It's going to cook for 5 minutes, and then we're going to set it aside, and that way it'll be ready for when we want to pour it on and prepare our jackfruit. This recipe calls for 3 cans of jackfruit. This one is in water, and Flor's recommendation was that I rinse it thoroughly, probably 2, maybe 3 times. Prior to getting it ready to cook.
There's a lot of seeds, and so the instructions do ask, oh, there it goes. The instructions do ask that we take those out. So I'm in the process of doing that, and then we'll continue rinsing and go on to the next step.
Okay, so I'm going to cook these onions until they get a little translucent and soft. Okay, so this is the onions with the salt, pepper, and the garlic, and now I'm gonna add the jackfruit. This again, the cumin, the paprika, and the chili powder. So I'm gonna mix this well. There's a 1½ cups of vegetable broth that will be added to this delicious concoction. I'm gonna cover it and let it cook for 15 minutes. This is vegan mayonnaise. I took a little taste and it's pretty good. Dressing will look like. And then just put it in the refrigerator so it chills for a little bit. And this is what we're gonna use as a topper for our sliders. It wants us to pull the pieces apart. Oh, and it melts so that it looks like pulled pork. I've already got my little air fryer that has the baking option, and I put a parchment paper on the sheets, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this pulled jackfruit, and I'm going to bake it for 25 minutes. Alright, so sorry for the noise, but you know, I already have part of the batch already cooking in the oven. So here I'm just spreading, you know, the mashed already. Look at this, it already looks like cold pork to me. And so just doing the other half of it so we can cook that one as well. How it's like toasted on the top. We're gonna put it in there. And then we're gonna take our barbecue sauce. Look at that beautiful color. So get that all in there, all nice and it's almost like a sloppy joe. It smells so awesome. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make a barbecue jackfruit sandwich or burger. So I'm gonna take a bite. Yeah, delicious. Cheers, team. And I just want to say thank you to my amazing colleague Flor who gave me this amazing vegan recipe. And again, cheers. Definitely have it with a nice red glass of wine.
Hi everybody. everybody. I hope everybody's safe and doing well during this time. Karen provided the dessert recipe to me, and we're going to be making arroz con leche, but we're going to veganize it. This is now simmering, so I'm going to put it up a little bit. And now I am going to bring in the 1 cup of rice as well. And you could use short or long grain rice. And we're going to drop it in. And then we're going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do now is we're going to add our 4 cups of milk. I like how creamy the soy milk is. We're going to measure. Like I said earlier, it's a natural sweetener, and it's absolutely delicious. And maybe I like it because agave is also the plant that's used to make tequila. I'm just saying, but okay. The recipe calls for 10 more minutes, but I think I'm going to simmer it just a little bit more. I want to be sure that the rice is fully cooked. So we're going to come over here, do 12 minutes at a simmer. And then we're gonna cover it, and then we'll see you in 12 minutes. I thought it needed a little bit more time, so I added an additional 12 minutes, and it's about to end, and this is what it looks like after the second 12 minutes. Okay? So it's really, really nice and creamy, and the rice looks completely cooked, and it looks delicious. So I'm gonna turn it off now. So we went ahead and I've let the arroz con leche cool because I prefer it cold. And this is what it looks like. It's been sitting for at least 20 minutes, if not more. When I used to have arroz con leche as a kid, I remember the little pieces of cinnamon that would get stuck in my mouth. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so grateful that Karen, my partner, picked this recipe, because it really reminds me of home, it reminds me of my family, and more importantly, it reminds me of my mom. So I can't wait to taste this. Put some cinnamon on it, and then raisins. I usually start out with about this much, and then I will put some more in there. But this is what it looks like. This is really good. Okay, so this is my beautiful daughter Ale, who's been the videographer for today, and she's gonna taste it as well. What do you think, Mama?
It's really good.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. To close out, I just want to say thank you to Tim for giving us this challenge. It was something fun to do while we've all been home working virtually due to the pandemic. And then also I really have to thank my partner Karen as well, who's always willing to try anything, and it was fun for us to work together on this effort. So thank you, I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you Ale for filming today. Have a good one, bye-bye.